back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also support my small business at latricelemon.com. I also want to direct your attention right over here to my website, latricelemon.com. There are so many different things you can get. We run sales, on and off and whatnot. There's many body butters, essential oil blends, there's handmade soaps, gift sets down here. There's a variety of different things for a variety of different people, of course. Different little soaps, and of course, moi. I have a whole link right here where it's Alex's favorites. And it's just different things that I use on a daily basis that I freaking love, for crying out loud. So definitely support the channel and support my business. And until then, let's get into the video. So today we're actually going to be talking about these insurance companies and something that happened that it sucks that it happened, but it just shows how messed up these insurance companies are and everything that they got going on. So we're going to get right into the video, okay? We're going to play the video and then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. And of course, the article will be linked down below. So if you do want to read all of this, which is pretty much what they're saying in the video, you're free to do so. But let's get this video played now.
A Glendale man walked out of his house recently to find a rented Uhaul pickup truck sitting on top of his SUV. Now this viewer only had liability insurance, so he's wondering who's going to pay for his damage.
Yes, this is what woke up to New Year's morning.
Back in early January, McLean Schilling found his 2005 Land Rover parked outside his house, demolished by a rented U-Haul. McLean says up until this point, his vehicle was great to drive.
Super smooth. It's a very nice, quiet ride.
But not anymore. When someone says there's a U-Haul on top of your Land Rover, how do you process that?
I just come out and see for myself.
Apparently, the U-Haul driver fled from the scene. Since McLean only had liability insurance, he filed a claim with U-Haul. Investigators from U-Haul's insurance company eventually inspected McLean's damaged vehicle and said they'd get back to him. Well, that was 3 months ago, and McLean says his claim keeps getting delayed by insurance adjusters.
Like 1 month later, we get an email like, hey, do you have a copy of the police report? It's like, we already gave you all of this and all the information.
Frustrated, McLean contacted 3 Your Side for some help.
We're at a loss. We don't know what to do. Especially my wife's grandparents have been telling us ever since day one, just call Free on Your Side, call Free on Your Side.
U-Haul and their insurance company looked into the matter for me and finally reached a decision that McLean was not really expecting. U-Haul tells 3 Your Side that McLean's damaged Land Rover won't be covered under its liability protection plan, seen here, because protection does not apply during criminal acts. In this email, a U-Haul spokesman tells me the rental equipment was being used in the commission of a crime, burglarizing homes in the neighborhood. Stolen property was found inside the pickup truck, and the leasee was identified leaving the scene. And here's the alleged troublemaker, 38-year-old Joshua Stein. He's got a rap sheet that dates back 20 years.
Yeah, so the adjuster came out and said it would be totaled.
As for McLean, he's stuck with an eyesore that he and neighbors are tired of looking at. He'll try to purchase a new vehicle, he says, but it's going to be difficult. In the meantime, he's having to borrow a car just to get around.
We're, just relentless.
All right. So we're gonna get back to me on this one. Yeah. So he goes outside. He sees that there's a U-Haul on his vehicle, another truck on his truck. So then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to, go call my insurance company, and they're giving him the runaround. Oh yeah, we'll get back to you. 3 months later, still nothing. Then he's like, okay, I have no other choice but to go to the news channels and let's try to get something happening on here, right? So this is my thing. These insurance companies, their whole business model is a what if, right? So what if? Well, what if, you get a U-Haul on your truck? What if you get into an accident? What if? Okay, fine. I get into an accident. I get a U-Haul truck on my truck. What's your response? Well, looking at the fine print, we seen that your insurance, you got the cheaper one, okay? So your cheaper one is like if you got into a crash or something like that, but you didn't really get into one, so our hands are tied. We really can't do anything. And that's how these insurance companies really are looking at these situations, because many people, most people I would argue, are doing the lower amount, right? You pay the least amount every month so you can get coverage. Now, it's like I said, it's a what if. So what if I go an entire year and nothing happened? You expect me to really pay versus me paying $150. Now I'm paying $200 a month or $210 a month. You really expect me to, go and pay the premium, pay, all the way up here for a what if, and that's how I feel with these whole situations. It's like, why am I even paying you money? Because it's not like I could go without insurance. You can't just be driving around here without insurance. Because they're going to be like, well, you're violating the law. You didn't have insurance. Same with, like, if you have, like, medical or whatever. Let's say you can't afford it for whatever the reason is. You don't have it. Oh, well, you can't just go without it. You have to have it. So you have to. So you're forced to get this crap. And then when you need their services, then they're just like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. And that's the problem. I mean, these places are such scams. Like, it really irritates me. Because, like, for example, it was like one random day, and it never happened before, one random day, really bad hailstorm, right? Where the hail was like this big, like for real. Like, this stuff was huge. And I'm like, I seen it and I was like, oh no, right? My car's not covered up, nothing. So I'm like, gosh dang it. Go outside right after the whole hailstorm, which it only lasted about 5 minutes, but for them to be coming down as forcefully as they were, and they were this big, I had huge dents all over my car, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness, what do I do? And of course, people walking around, they're like, oh, you got hail? Here's my card, here's my card, here's my card. So, it was like maybe a month later or maybe a couple weeks later. I think it was maybe like 2.5 to 3 weeks later. I'm like, you know what, let's go call this place and let's see what's going on. Which, by the way, place was top notch, okay? My car is now good to go. But the point is, we did that, called the insurance company, because they're like, yeah, call the insurance company, blah, blah. Call them, hey, this is what happened. Here's the pictures. Oh, well, we can't really see with those pictures that you had. Can you show us some more? I'm like, okay, I gave you all the pictures you asked for. Here, let me go take some more pictures. Okay. Well, how much did you have? How much were you paying a month? Like, what level were you? Blah, blah. This is what I had. This is when it happened. Well, what time of the day did it happen? It happened this time of the day. What do you mean? Stop asking me all these questions. You think I just took some rocks and threw it at my car? I mean, come on. So it was just like this whole runaround. And it took about, I think it actually did take around 3 months before the initial incident, and it took about 2.5 weeks before we called somebody. And then before I actually got my car fixed. It was around 3 months, maybe even 3.5 months. And I remember it was actually my birthday, right? And the insurance company, they just called sporadically from, like an unknown number or something like that. It was like some crazy stuff, some number I've never seen. And I remember it was my birthday. And I'm sitting down, I'm in the hotel, I'm chilling out, and I get a call, and they're like, hey, we're ready to see your car today, so we can inspect it, right? And I'm like, when are you trying to do that? And they're like, right now, if we could go over there, I could be there in about 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm nowhere near that. So how do you think you're going to see my car? Oh, well, I'm going to need to see your car. We can't go forward with it. Versus sending an email or a text or something like that to say, hey, let's try to accommodate you so that we can get this going as soon as possible. They're delaying it. Oh, it's always something else. It's always something else. It's always something else. Then, after they finally see it, send it to the guys to do my car. They're like, oh, well, we can't pay the full thing yet. We have to look at it again, and we got to see, so it's all of this runaround. And that's what's happening with this guy. You know, his car, another car is literally on top of his car. And you're like, oh, well, I mean, but when did it happen? I mean, where was your car parked? And why am I paying monthly? Why am I giving you monthly payments for this? If it's just like, you know, you're just going to say like, I may do it, I may not do it, I could do it, or probably I could just not do it for you. Why am I even paying you guys? I mean, what's the whole point of having insurance if once I need the insurance, you're just like, we can't really do anything, so I don't know what to tell you. You know, so that's why that story really made me mad, because I've gone through that. Obviously not as bad, like my car isn't totaled or anything like that from hail, but the hail damage I had, because I've seen some other people who, you know, some people's windows broke and stuff like that. But just because it's like my car gets, you know, destroyed, it gets, you know, whatever, and you're just like, well, I don't know. I mean, but that's your job. Your job is to know. That's the problem. That's the problem with these insurance companies that I don't like, you know, and it's not just car insurance, it's these other insurance companies. I feel like this, what really should be happening. At the end of the 12 months, right, a whole year goes by. I think everyone should get refunded. Now, if you got in no accident, when I say no accident, I mean like you didn't get any kind of accidents. Nothing. I'm not talking about natural disasters or anything like that. I'm talking about you hit another car hit you, whatever the case may be, right? I think you should be getting 90%, because I get your business, you gotta make your money. I think you should get 90% of whatever you paid. If you pay $150 a month, you need to be getting 90% of however much you pay for that entire year back. They should send you a fat check, say, here you go, because you didn't need to use us this year. And it should be like that every year. The reason why they're not doing it is because they know most people are not going to need to use their services. Maybe they may use it, you know, once every other year, you know, something like that, or maybe once a year. You know, I'm talking about like you get in a crash, you get in a real accident, not something like, hey, a natural disaster or something like that, you know. And that's how they make their money. You know, that's how they make their money. And that's something that really freaking irritates me. But I digress. Until then.